Hello everyone, you are all welcome to lecture number 811 and today's topic is explosive chemicals part 2 and here I am going to discuss about gun cotton, then nitroglycerin and dynamite. These three are that is your explosive chemicals. Gun cotton is also known as nitrocellulose or trinitrocellulose. Here the cellulose means it contains carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, that is carbohydrate in the form of cellulose, and that cellulose is usually wood, pulp wood, fiber from vegetable source, plant source, and they are nitrated, and after nitration it is the hydroxy group is converted into nitro group, that is NO2, and that is called gun cotton. And this gun cotton is the starting material of smokeless gunpowder. It's not black gunpowder, which was the first explosive on this earth. And the second one is that is known as nitroglycerin. Nitroglycerin means here glycerol, which contains 3-hydroxy group, is nitrated in presence of nitric acid, fumic concentrated, and sulfuric acid. And this one is converted into that is called nitroglycerin, or we can call it trinitroglycerin, or we can call it glyceryl 1,2,3 trinitrate. But it is all nitroglycerin. It is very sensitive, explosive, and even the little shaking can make it to explode. And in this, the silicon muddy powder was added as a stabilizer, and it became stable. And that compound with that stabilizer, that is called dynamite. And this dynamite was invented by Alfred Nobel, and it was in 1860s. From 1860 to 62, within that time, he discovered, and by 1867, this dynamite was patented in his name. And today, the Nobel Prize is awarded in his name, and he earned lot of money out of dynamite. Dynamite is having a lot of use, domestic use, means industrial use, as well as in military. And we are using in mining, we are using in construction of dam, then some other mountain and industries where we need to explode old buildings, and others where we need 1,000 or 500 people to work for 1 week. By one dynamite explosion, it can be clear. So, and this actually nitroglycerin is, let me show you here. Nitroglycerin is, glycerol is like this, CH2OH, then CHOH, and then your CH2OH. This is your glycerol, which is containing 3-hydroxy group. And once it is converted into, in presence of concentrated nitric acid and concentrated H2SO4. So nitration will take place. And here one thing is very important to understand. And it is also, given like this, CH2O, NO2, then CHO, NO2, and CH2O, NO2. This is your nitroglycerin. Sometimes they write E also after hand, nitroglycerin, or E I write nitroglycerin, not E after hand. So this is your nitroglycerin, and this nitroglycerin is also written like this. This is also glycerol. So this is your glycerol. And when this glycerol is again treated with this concentrated nitric acid and sulfuric acid, it will be changed into the same way. O, NO2, O, NO2 and O, NO2. And sometimes it is also written like this. So this one is also glycerol. Glycerol means they contain 3-hydroxy group. So that you can write either in this way, either you can write in this way, simplest form, or in this way, and it is also converted in this way. So you will get O and O2. So, and ONO2 means actually it is ester form, already O is there. So this nitration is a very sensitive reaction, and let me make it very clear why we are taking the concentrated sulfuric acid here. Because this your nitric acid HONO2, if you are splitting it, you will get HONO2. So HONO2 means that is HNO3, and this is going to provide nitronium ion, that is NO2, electrophile. So what is the role of this sulfuric acid here? It plays very important role, very important role. It has two roles. First, it is acting as very strong dehydrating agent. Whatever water possibility is there in that reaction mixture, it will absorb. It will immediately absorb, and there will not be any chance of water molecule, because if there is any chance of water molecule, the formation of nitronium ion will not be there, and we cannot get nitration. We cannot get nitroglycerin, we cannot get gun cotton. I mean this, that is your nitrocellulose or nitroglycerin. So the role of concentrated sulfuric acid means it acts as dehydrating agent, and also it acts as solvent. It has two roles. And if there is dilute H2SO4, again you are not going to get the product, because dilute means water content is there. So once you are doing nitration in the lab even, make sure that your conical flask or round bottom flask or beaker, whatever you are using, make sure that it is dry. Before you use, you put in oven at 100 degrees centigrade temperature, at least for 15-20 minutes. And once there is no water, then you do the nitration. Because I have got this experience. Some of the students, they are not getting the nitro derivative, like nitrobenzene. When they are doing nitration, they are saying that, sir, we are not getting yellow crystal. And the problem is that they did not dry their glass apparatus. So that is very important. And secondly, this is your explosive, that is chemical, and other one is called atomic explosive. So there is a big difference in atom bomb and chemical explosive. Chemical explosive means where two of the molecules, compounds or atoms, they react together, and after the reaction there will be formation of compound that will retain the identity of previous one. For example, if suppose chemical, so there is one is chemical reaction and other one is nuclear. So what is chemical reaction means? Once reactant is there, but that is sodium plus chlorine. And once they will react, there will be formation of sodium chloride, this compound product. So in the case of chemical reaction, what explosion, whatever heat is evolved, the elements which are during the reaction as a reactant will retain their identity. Sodium will remain sodium, chlorine will remain chlorine. But in the case of nuclear or atomic bomb, atomic reaction, there are two types of reaction. One is fusion, other one is fission. F-U-S-I-O-N means two of the isotopes of hydrogen, either deuterium or tritium, they combine together, they fuse together, and there will be formation of helium. So helium is a new element. In sun, what is happening? Sun is nothing but it is the mixture of isotope of hydrogen, deuterium and natrium, and they are combining, they are fusing with each other, and that the isotope of hydrogen, when they are fusing, the huge amount of heat energy is evolved, and that is sun is shining, and there helium is produced, new element. If suppose you are doing fission, F-I-S-S-I-O-N means heavy nucleus is broken down like uranium-235. If uranium-235 is bombarded with neutron, and once you are getting huge amount of energy and it is splitted, you will get krypton and barium, totally new element. This is the difference in this chemical explosive and atomic explosive, atomic bomb. It's a very big difference. So that I have already given you. And this dynamite actually was discovered by Alfred Nobel, I have already told you, in 1860s. And you know that he was Swedish chemist and working in Germany. And his father was also, we can say, scientist or chemist, researcher. And his father, Alfred Nobel's father, he was the one who established the rubber factory in Sweden. So both son and father, they were scientists, they were chemists. So here number 1, first is explosive chemicals, part 2, gun cotton, nitroglycerin and dynamite. Number 1, gun cotton was discovered in 1846 by C.E. Sombin, and the cotton consists of cellulose, and which is a compound of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, that is called carbohydrate. When cellulose is allowed to react with a mixture of concentrated nitric acid and concentrated sulfuric acid, and this mixture is called nitrating mixture. And I have already given you a very clear explanation how this nitrating mixture is going to nitrate the cellulose to get the nitrocellulose, nitrating mixture. And the gun cotton is formed by nitration of cellulose called nitrocellulose. Number 2, nitroglycerin. A further advance in the chemistry of explosive was made by Alfred Nobel with the discovery of nitroglycerin. Actually, first he is having two discoveries. First discovery, he nitrated the glycerol, and that glycerol became nitroglycerin, and that nitroglycerin is also called as trinitroglycerin, or it is also called as glycerol 1,2,3 trinitrate. So all these names means it is the nitration of glycerin, that is called nitroglycerin, and it was prepared by Alfred Nobel with discovery that was in the year 1862. And this compound was found difficult to handle on account of its sensitiveness. Sensitiveness to the shock, because if there is little shock, it will explode. So it was very sensitive. So this was the biggest problem, how to stabilize it. So Alfred Nobel, he added some silicon muddy powder, and that silicon muddy powder is called Kesselghar, and that is with great care, without any danger. If the liquid nitroglycerin was mixed with silicon mud powder, that is called Kesselghar, and that was responsible of stabilizing it. And after the stability by addition of silicon mud powder, it was known as dynamite. So here actually dynamite is nothing but that is nitroglycerin, and here the silicon clay powder is added into nitroglycerin just to stabilize it, because this nitroglycerin oily liquid is very sensitive to shock. So after the addition of silicon clay powder, it became stable, and that stable material is called dynamite, and it was invented by Swedish chemist Alfred Nobel. And that's why I have given nitroglycerin here. So this is your nitroglycerin, and it has formula C3H5N3O9, and your this nitroglycerin is actually dynamite once it is mixed with this silicon that we call it clay, silicon clay powder as a stabilizer. And also the name, there are different names of nitroglycerin. The first is nitroglycerin, sometimes they write NG. The second, sometimes they write trinitroglycerin, that is TNG, is having the same meaning. The third one, sometimes they write glyceryl trinitrate, that is GTN, same thing. And the third one they write 1,2,3 trinitropropane. So all these are nothing but nitroglycerin, and it is dense, colorless, oily, explosive liquid produced by nitrating glycerol. And I have already given you how the nitration is done by using concentrated sulfuric acid, concentrated nitric acid, that is called nitrating mixture. Glycerol, and the mixture of nitroglycerin and silicon clay powder. That silicon clay powder is called Kesselghar, and that Kesselghar is nothing but it is silicon powder. It is added to stabilize the nitroglycerin, and this mixture of silicon clay powder and nitroglycerin is called dynamite. The most powerful explosive is dynamite. And dynamite is also prepared by mixing 8% nitrocellulose plus 92% nitroglycerin. So once you add 8% nitrocellulose and 92% nitroglycerin, it will give you dynamite. And then the resulting tough jelly mass is called blasting gelatin. So once you prepare this mixture, it is called blasting gelatin, is also type of dynamite. And the other one is that is called cordite. Cordite is another explosive prepared by mixing 65%, that is your gun cotton, and 30% nitroglycerin, and rest are acetone and Vaseline. Today, dynamite is mainly used in mining, construction, demolition. Dynamite was invented by Swedish chemist Alfred Nobel, that was in 1862, and was the first explosive stronger than gunpowder. And for this dynamite, it was, we can say new revolution in weaponry, chemical explosive weaponry, and that is Alfred Nobel. He could get billions of money out of this business, and he donated some money to give the Nobel Prize out of that money. Those who are very good in medicine, in science, and in peace. So with this I will stop, and in coming lectures I am going to discuss some characteristic of these explosive chemicals, and I have already told you in the beginning that this chapter is divided into two. One is explosive chemical and second one is toxic chemicals. So first I will cover the explosive chemicals, and after that I will switch over to toxic chemicals. With this I will stop. Thank you very much for watching the lecture.